You know, I absolutely love this Lamia from Steingrabber Performance Knives. It's probably one of the best knives I've had come in this year. But there's a little trick. Alex has provided you with washers that you don't need spacers to put in. So what we're going to do today is we're going to swap the bearings in this knife out for the washers and see how it feels. Guys, today we're going to do something cool because Alex Steingrabber over at Steingrabber Performance Knives has done something brilliant with this Lamia. Now, there are companies that have done something similar. You can take the bearings out of this and replace them with the washers he provides. And he provides nylon, if that's what you want, or brass. So we're going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and, I mean, it's just a really good idea. You don't need any spacers. You don't need anything special. It's already built into it by the size of the bearings, the size of the washers, and the size of the pocket. So let's go ahead and get this mat out of the way and start taking this apart. So with this being a disassembly video, we're going to need some stuff. Let me get that in here. And that stuff's going to be, because this is tight, I remember a pry bar. I'm using my titanium one because it's not going to mar the finish. My T15 and T8 bit driver, the washer, the bearings themselves, KPL heavy for on the pivot, KPL for on the actual washer. So let's go ahead and get this taken apart. Now, I do remember that the stop pin likes to stick in this side. So putting the stop pin in an area where you're going to drop the blade down on and have it so it's not moving around while you're trying to reposition knife is going to make your life easier. So I recommend, if you're going to do this, take this knife apart from the lock side or whichever side your stop pin sticks on your Lamia. So let's go ahead and start taking this apart. We're going to get this pivot out. Now, I just recently had this apart and cleaned it, so it should not need much in the way of lubrication on the pivot, or I'm sorry, on the detent ball, but we are putting a brand new set of washers in. So we got that. Now this, is it going to come apart nicely and play nice? No, of course not. This thing is machined with such tight tolerances. So just use our little lock, our pry bar here, get up in here, and then we're just going to work that loose. Man, Alex, this is a tight fit. Let's go ahead. There we go. Just pop that off. Extremely sharp blade. Be very careful when you're doing this, taking apart a knife that is this sharp. So we're just simply going to take these bearings out, drop them over here. And then, yeah, there's not much in the way. I think just like 3 days ago, I took this apart because I do carry this knife a lot since it's here. So not a lot of dirt that needs cleaned up on that. But this is a prime chance for you to absolutely clean your knife. So let's go ahead, and I think I'm going to carry it with the brass, but I'm going to put the nylon in for the video. So I might swap this out after, and I'll let you guys know. I want to see how the nylon washers feel in this. So like I said, no spacer required. You're simply going to drop that on there, and you can see how it just covers up the area on it, and it would stay. That's the same height that your bearings would be with them in their pocket. Just a really clever way of doing this. There are other companies that do this, but you have to use spacers and stuff like that. So just like a clever way of getting around it. Let's put a drop of KPL on that. Typically these Nylotron or nylon, they're usually pretty smooth. So we'll see. I'll drop that blade back on. I'm gonna put this washer on. There is no front or back. There's no wrong way to do this. Put another little drop of KPL here. And then I am going to put just a dot of KPL heavy on the pivot. Even though it's fairly clean, looks like it's still lubricated. KPL heavy is great because it stays where you want it. It's like a gel. It's almost like, it's a non-Newtonian fluid. I talked with Ryan about it, how they did it, but it is great. I love it. I love how it works on pivots. So get this back in here. Play with this until I get, so there you go. So your screw dropped. It's actually easier to put this back together with the washers in than it was the bearings. Make sure we've got that where we want it. Even with no screw in. Like if you lost your pivot screw, this is still got, there is no blade play in that. So let's go ahead. We'll drop our pivot screw in. Give that a quick, come on. That's what happens when you have dexterity issues in your hands and you're doing it behind a camera and tripod. I'm standing behind 3 total tripods. Get that body screw in. Nice and centered. That is, I don't, actually, you know what? I think that's smoother on the nylon than it was on the bearings. It's got a completely different feel. So to do it with the brass ones, it's going to be the same process. You just simply put it in. You can see there, it gives you the same distance as you would have with the bearings in. That is great. And I mean, it is, you don't lose anything. You have lost nothing. If anything, I said, I think this is smoother than it was with the bearings. Is there, oh, I missed the, that was not the knife. That was me. Maybe a little bit more tension on those. It just had just a tiny bit. Are we centered? No. There we go. Now we're centered. Now we're centered. That might just be a little bit too much. So you got to play. Sometimes you got to play with knives. You don't want too much tension on your. Oh yeah, there we go. Just brilliant. I like how that feels on washers. It feels better on washers, on those nylon washers, than it does on bearings. Now, like I said, same process to swap out your brass or you know, your what are they, nickel, I don't remember what the process, but phosphor bronze is what you're desperately trying to find the word for. They're just brass washers. So yeah, that is great on there. It's way smoother. It's absolutely smoother on those nylon washers than it is on the bearings. So there you go, guys. Let's turn this around, and I'm going to do the outro on this after I carry it with the brass washers in for a while and see if I see any noticeable difference. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts. So guys, it's actually 3 days later as I'm filming this outro, and I got to tell you, I ran it on both the bronze, and phosphor bronze washers and the nylon washers that are in it right now. And I got to say, I liked them both better than the bearings, but the nylon ones are great. I think they're Nylontron, or I don't think they're Teflon. Teflon are crap. Alex did a great job coming up with a way that you don't need a space or anything. This is a brilliantly good knife. So with that being said, guys, a little bit longer outro because I had to give you my final opinions. I'm going to do a end of the year video with this knife because it is that good. You're going to see it again. So stay tuned for that. Guys, that's it on this video. If you like the videos, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. But tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, I don't remember if I left a space for a sponsor, but I have got sponsors. They're all down below. Coffee Brand Coffee, Tempered Trail, All Strong Knives. You can use coupon code CrazySharp at Coffee Brand Coffee or Tempered Trail. It's also built into their links. That coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 10% at both of those vendors. It also saves you 10% at Fair & Forge Knife Works and Rosecraft Blades. I've got a lot of affiliate links down below where you can purchase knives from any of the well-known vendors. You got Blade HQ, Knife Strip Free, GP Knives. They're all down there. Check them out. There's some stuff that's not even knife related, like Atlas VPN, which is 85% off right now for a 4-year subscription. Great VPN. It's the one we use here. I have an Amazon store. Take that, pin it to your browser, use it for any shopping you're going to do. It supports the channel. It doesn't cost you anything at checkout. I also have got a membership. It's all tier-based, but there's a lot of stuff. I have a private Discord. I do giveaways for the baseline and premium guys. I do exclusive content. Premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series. And in that private Discord, you guys can contact me directly, DM me, things like that if you've got questions. I have also opened a public Discord. There's a link to that down below. Join that. Hang out with the other subscribers. Have fun. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.